Your next level as an athlete always lies in the mind. It always has and always will. I'm going to show you exactly how and why today. So we exist on 3 planes of existence: the spiritual plane, the mental plane, and the physical plane. Spiritual plane is the realm, the plane of energy. This is the unseen. It's the unseen. You can't see it, and that's why 99% of people neglect it. That's why no one touches on it, because you can't see it. Where physical, you can see it. It's tangible. Then we have the mental plane. This is the mind, which is what we're about to get into on what it covers. And then you've got the physical plane. This is your training. Most athletes only focus on the physical plane, their body, the gym, more reps, more training, more skills, more vision. This is what they do. This is what they focus on without realizing that the physical plane is the effect to the spiritual and mental plane, which is the cause. It creates your performances, it creates your results. Don't get me wrong, we still want to work on the physical plane. It's there. So, of course, we need to work on it. Of course, we need to train, do the reps. But if you want to level up, it's going to come through the mind. This is your identity. This is your self image. This is your beliefs, your assumptions, your expectations, your thoughts. The mental plane creates the blueprint for your performance. As within, so without. One of the Hermetic principles, as within, so without, meaning your outer world, your outer performances, your results that you experience with your body is a reflection of your inner world, which is your identity, your self-image, how you see yourself, who you identify as, your beliefs, the beliefs you hold, your assumptions, what you assume is going to happen, what you predict, what you expect to happen, what you expect to experience, your emotional state, and then your nervous system. The game is simply showing you who you are, not who you wish you were. You will get what you are, not what you want. Performance is the effect, your results are the effect. So why are you trying to change an effect, something that's happened, by changing an effect? You need to change the cause, which is creating effect. Your identity, self-image, beliefs, exactly what we've covered. Most athletes only just focus on the body. Elite athletes focus on the mind, which is the driver. The body's the car. The mind is the driver that's driving exactly that, the result that you get. These are the 6 components which we've touched on that are causing your results. You need to identify these and raise them to a level that you want to go to, that produces a result that you want to get. So number 1 is identity. Identity is who you believe you are, who you identify as within. Examples: I'm confident, I'm shy, I'm a leader, I'm not talented, I'm inconsistent. Your nervous system will always try to prove your identity true. It will seek evidence, behaviors, experiences that reinforce who you believe you are. Change your identity and your performance changes. Number 2, self-image. Self-image is a picture you hold of yourself. Every athlete has an internal thermostat, a level they unconsciously believe they belong at. You do not rise to your potential, you rise to your self-image. If you see yourself as a local level athlete, you will unconsciously think, train, act, perform at that specific level. No matter how big your goals are, your results will always gravitate back to the image you hold of yourself. Change the image, and your performance and how you show up and how you act, behave, move, walk, talk, your actions will be completely different. If you do a 180 spin, you're going to get a 180 result. Beliefs. Beliefs are the rules you hold about yourself, others, and the world. They are what you accept as true, and whether they are true or not, it does not matter. No belief is true other than what you accept as true. I've got a different belief to you, so but that belief that I have is true to my own experience. So if you want a different experience, you need to change the beliefs. You need to become aware of your beliefs that you hold. Common limiting beliefs that athletes hold is I'm not good enough, I'm not confident, I struggle under pressure, I can't reach the next level, I'm not good enough to level up. These are the beliefs you are holding, the beliefs you hold are governing and boxing you in to the level that you are at. You won't outperform your beliefs. You won't go outside the box that you're currently in. They are your ceiling. They are the walls that you are governed by. The thing is, beliefs are in the subconscious mind. They are programs designed to keep you safe, not help you thrive. They are directly connected to the nervous system. You're wired to survive. You're wired to, yeah, survive. If you believe failure, judgment, or rejection is dangerous, your nervous system will treat it as a threat. The problem is that survival is personal. Your beliefs shape your reality. They shape what you see, expect, perceive, and therefore how you perform. Change the belief, therefore change the result. Assumptions and expectations. Assumptions are the most powerful forces in performance. An assumption is something you expect to happen before it happens. It is the future you are already anticipating. What you're expecting, what you're assuming is going to happen. Therefore, that actually happens because it shapes your perspective, it shapes your view, it's your thoughts, your feelings, your therefore actions to move in direct proportion to the assumptions that you have. If you have the assumptions which most athletes have is something will go wrong, therefore they'll make mistakes, they'll get dropped, they'll fail, they'll choke under pressure. Elite athletes assume differently. They assume they'll find a way. They assume opportunities are coming. They assume growth is inevitable. They assume things are working in their favor. Therefore, that's exactly what happens because that's what they're assuming. Your assumptions are going to be internal. Then you may not be aware of what you're unconsciously assuming. You need to become aware of what that is. Most of the time, it's limiting. Most of the time, it's keeping you governed to the level that you're in, and that's why it reflects your performance and why your performance isn't leveling up. Why you aren't reaching new levels. Thoughts and emotions. Thoughts and emotions are interconnected. Your thoughts create your emotions. Not all thoughts produce emotions. Your emotions then influence your thoughts. That's why you'll find yourself in a mental state and you'll continue to a negative mental state and you continue to think, feel negative. It's a self-fulfilling loop. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and uncertainty, you will feel anxiety, pressure, and insecurity. These emotions narrow attention, reduce confidence, disconnect you from instincts, and pull you into a survival state. You do not want to play from a survival state. You need to play from a thrival state. The goal is to not think like your current self. The goal is to think and feel like the athlete you are becoming. Your thoughts and emotions should work for you, not against you. Because you because the state you live in becomes the performance you play from. Therefore, what you experience. Nervous system, this is one of the most powerful things. What you're wired for on a nervous system level is what will be. It is the master control system of the body. Its job is to scan your environment, interpret what is happening, and decide whether you are safe or threatened. This is why it is so powerful because before you can play with confidence, trust your instincts, or perform at your best, your nervous system must feel safe in that. As I said, we are survival creatures. So you're wired to survive. Everyone's at their level of survival. But what's survival to you isn't survival to me. Everyone's got their own different level of survival. You need to make your new level that you want to go to normal. It needs to feel safe. It needs to feel natural to you. Because there's someone at that level that you're at that you want to get to that it's normal to them. So it needs to be normal to you. If it detects threat in your environment, failure, judgment, rejection, embarrassment, and pressure, it shifts into survival mode. When you're in survival mode, you're tight, you hesitate, you're reactive, you overthink. When you're in a performance state, though, you have safety, you have trust, you have presence, you become calm, creative, instinctive, confident. And that's where your best performances will come from. So there's an interconnection between all of these. Your identity creates your self image creates your beliefs create your assumptions create your thoughts, and your thoughts create your emotions. For example, if your identity is, I'm not good under pressure, you will see yourself as someone who struggles in big moments. This creates the belief that pressure affects you, which leads to the assumption that you'll probably make mistakes before the game. You start thinking, what if I mess up? Which creates fear and anxiety. Your nervous system moves into survival mode, and you become tight, hesitate, overthink, and your performance drops. You need your identity, your self image, your beliefs, your assumptions, your thoughts, your emotions, and your nervous system be in alignment with your goal, with the level you want to get to, with how you want to play, the performances you want to have, the results you want to get. They need to be in alignment. You can't have, there can't be contradiction between them. So, what you need to do, you need to start working on the cause, not the effect. As I said, your next result's not going to come through more physical work, more grinding, more hustling, more reps. There's a time for that, there's a place for that. Of course, you work on the physical, but the mind, you won't perform outside of the mind. You can work physically, but if you're still boxed in mentally, you won't level up. You won't go to the next level. So upgrade your identity, your self-image, your beliefs, your assumptions, your thoughts, your emotions, your nervous system, and your performance will skyrocket. You got to think like your next level, believe like the next level you want to go to, expect, regulate your nervous system to make that seem normal, feel normal, and like it's just what you are, just what you do. And when you have that inner change, there has to be outer change. You can't change within, but then not change without. And when I say within that, what that means is the mind, changing all of those 6 things. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. Go for the video again, do the things, check the other videos out that I have, and hit the subscribe button. Peace.